This week on the season finale of Beacon Web News, we get tips from students on how they are preparing for final exams. Then, we open up a book with book club at their annual book extravaganza. And we provide an update on the smoking ban.
The only change I've seen on campus really is now smokers have moved from the designated smoking areas to the street, which is actually more in the way.
That's coming up next on Beacon Web News.
Hello and welcome to the December 5th episode of Beacon Web News. I'm Julia Texera. As our final show of the semester and of 2018, you'll find that this one's going to be a bit different this time around. Today, I'm joined alongside fellow reporter, Allie Tino.
Hey Julia, this weekend I caught up with students on campus to see how they're preparing for finals, what they're looking forward to for the holidays, and if they've got any New Year's resolutions planned.
Most of my finals are really papers, so I'm mostly spending a lot of time in the library, reading books, looking at journal articles, writing my papers, so I'm doing that.
I'm just taking my time, looking through all the material I need to do, getting all my papers done, and I'm really trying to plan out the schedule.
I'm just in the library every night doing a lot of work. I have so many 10-page papers I have due soon, so I'm just hiding in the library.
I'm taking one day at a time. I got music on to help me kind of get into the zone of what I need to get ready for finals.
One of my favorite methods is I like to take my notes and then rewrite them down. So I'll copy them multiple times onto different sheets of paper. And by the end of doing that, I tend to remember the information that I've written down.
Just doing a lot of, studying, taking breaks, a lot of breaks, doing what I can. It's my second to last semester, so I've done it a couple times before.
Just a lot of studying, looking back at old exams and trying to figure out what's going to be on my finals and stuff like that.
I'm kind of all over the place. I've got like a million things to do being an art major, but just like taking one thing at a time, trying to get everything done.
I'm looking forward to going to my grandma's for Christmas and just hanging out with my friends and family back in Long Beach on Long Island, so it should be a good time.
Just being home with my mom. It's been a stressful year for the two of us, so kind of just to be home and get to see family and get to see friends that I haven't gotten to see because I live like 3 hours away.
I can't wait to go home and stress bake all my bad feelings about finals away, and I'm getting ready to go to Walt Disney World next semester, so I'm going to spend a lot of time preparing for that.
Spending time with family, definitely, because I'm so far away from home.
I live locally around here, so I'm going to be with my family and hopefully some friends will be around and I can hang out with them for the holidays.
On Christmas Day, I usually travel down to my aunt's house in New Jersey, so I'm looking forward to doing that.
No homework and sleep and presents. Love presents.
Eating less sweets is my New Year's resolution.
To keep up the not drinking soda as much as I usually do.
Procrastinate maybe a little less, not waiting to submit my assignments till the day before.
I want to work harder as an SGA senator. I want to contribute more to the clubs here on campus and get my grades up.
Just to do better. Just to keep doing better and keep pushing myself forward.
To cut toxic people out of my life, but I've already been doing that, so we'll just keep it going.
Come back stronger for school for the next semester.
Just to try and be a better person, always.
Join Pittsfield Mayor Linda Tyre and North Adams Mayor Thomas Bernard for the Berkshire Eagles Conversation Series on Thursday, December 6th. They'll be discussing the future of the county from the point of view of the two leaders. They will be starting the conversation at 7:30 p.m. in Church Street Center. Tickets are $5 for students with a valid ID and $12 for general admission. Tickets are available at eventbrite.com. In the mood to shop till you drop? SAC is offering a Crossgates Mall trip Saturday, December 8th from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. If you're interested in joining the trip, attend the SAC General Meeting Friday, December 7th at 3:15 p.m. in Sullivan Lounge. You'll be able to sign up and save your spot on the shuttle. Don't miss out on an opportunity to get your holiday shopping started. Friday, December 7th, from 6 to 8 p.m., the class of 2019 Student Council will be hosting the event. You Want a Pizza Me? In Venable Gym. All senior class members are welcome to come enjoy pizza and listen to music. It's $5 at the door, and all attendees will get to vote on the best slice in North Adams. The event is being held to raise funds for senior days.
Last semester, MCLA instituted its no smoking policy on campus. BWN's Karina Matera has the latest to see just how this policy has been received and whether it will continue to stand.
Last semester, we looked deeper into the tobacco-free policy that was set to start on August 1st, 2018. Student smokers had shared negative views on the shift that was about to take place. Flashing forward, now set, the students feel this policy hasn't changed too much on campus.
The only change I've seen on campus really is now smokers have moved from the designated smoking areas to the street, which is actually more in the way of people traveling back and forth. There are more cigarette butts on the sidewalks and on the street than usual, I've noticed. So more litter, and the air is actually less clear because to get from my house to class, I've passed more than one smoker, where in the past they've been 30 feet away from a door in an area.
People who smoked still smoke. People who don't smoke still don't smoke. Nothing really has changed, in my opinion.
Vice President of Student Affairs, Catherine Holbrook, shared how students were the ones with an impact on the policy.
Discussion about the tobacco-free policy and changing the existing policy started probably 2 or 3 years ago at the request of students. The email went out about the policy change. There were only a couple of responses that I received, and the 3 that I got were all people thanking us for going in this direction.
On behalf of the grant that MCLA received for creating the policy, the school is obligated to send out an email for a tobacco policy survey to check in on the students and how they feel about the ban. There should be another sent out again next semester. The tobacco-free MCLA policy is predominantly in place to help ensure the campus is a healthy and safe environment. Our school is still in the process of looking for more resources to help current smokers looking to quit.
Challenges for us are we are trying to put together resources for people who might want to quit, and there is actually not there is not access to as many resources in this area to bring smoking cessation programs to campus as we had hoped, or even that were here 2 years ago when this first started.
Most recently I saw someone in the campus center marketplace handing out pamphlets as how to quit smoking, but other than that, no resources have really been widely made available to every single student to help quit smoking.
Most students aren't aware of the fact that there are resources available to help quit smoking on the MCLA Human Resources page. Catherine Holbrook had expressed to me that she is in fact working with IT to change the URL to mcla.edu/tobacco-free resources so that has easier access for students. The future of the policy already has plans for review at the end of the school year.
We will evaluate that in 2 ways. One with a survey to the community, and the other with the committee coming back together to assess what's working, what's not working, what do we need to add, what tweaks might need to be made, etc.
I really don't see them going either way on it. Now that it's in place, it's probably just going to be easier for them to keep it the way it is.
I don't really see it changing. They can't do anything about the town or the city-owned sidewalks where people are allowed to smoke, or the streets, and so we're going to be in this tough situation.
We'll see what changes end up being discussed. For BWN News, I'm Karina Matera.
Mark your calendars for a night of catwalks with MCLA's Fashion Club. Their Fall 2018 fashion show is Saturday, December 8th at 7 p.m. in the Design Lab. This semester, there's over 60 original student design looks that you don't want to miss. The Design Lab is located at 49 Main Street. Admission is free and all are welcomed. On Friday, December 7th at 7 p.m. in Sullivan Lounge, IGE will be hosting one of their movie nights. They will be showing Holding the Man. The film is about 2 boys that fell in love in high school and their relationship over the next 15 years. Free drinks and pizza will be provided. And it's the final event of the season for the Creative Writing Series. On Friday, December 7th at 7 p.m., check out Andrea Lawler and Jordy Rosenberg as they read from their recent novels. Lawler, a genderqueer novelist, will read from Paul Takes the Form of a Mortal Girl, Rosenberg, a transgender novelist, will be reading from his first book, Confessions of the Fox. The event will take place in the Center for Science and Innovation atrium.
This week, healthy food options and new roofing were on the agenda at the City Council meeting. BWN Shankwell Dennis has the latest breakdown on what changes are coming to North Adams.
With another Cumberland Farms being added at 245 Ashland Street, the question and amount of gas needed was on City Council's agenda. A lawyer representing the owner of the property came to appear before the council in an open public hearing and explained why the amount of diesel and gasoline is needed. The Cumberland Farms is asking for 48,000 gallons of gasoline and diesel to be stored underground. The expected number of liquids broken down being 42,000 gallons of flammable and 60,000 gallons of combustible. The council voted unanimously on continuing the public hearing at a future meeting. The need for healthy food appeared on City Council's agenda once again. At the October 9th meeting, Councilor Rebecca Cohen proposed a communication regarding a high need for healthy food access in the west end of the city. Previously, the communication was referred to the Community Development Committee and postponed. Cohen also talked about the need for gas stations with healthy food options in proximity of the west end. The Community Development Committee have an additional meeting planned for 6 p.m. on December 3rd, and therefore Cohen moved to postpone the discussion until the first City Council meeting in January. On November 13th, an order authorizing the approval of the mayor to borrow $351,000 to repair the roof of the public safety building passed to a second reading. The public safety building, which houses the city's police and fire department, is located at American Legion Drive and has had numerous leaks over the years, with many remaining unfixed. During the Public Safety Committee's meeting, councilors toured the facility and were able to understand why City Council approved the loan. For Beacon Web News, I'm Shankwell Dennis.
On Sunday, December 9th, five-time Grammy Award winner James Taylor will be performing at the Hunter Center at Mass MoCA with his daughter Sally. Sally's exhibit, Come to Your Senses, is on view at Mass MoCA's Kids Space. Sally and her collaborators, the Larson brothers, will kick off the afternoon at 3 p.m. The show will benefit arts education at Mass MoCA. Tickets for this concert are $350 for preferred seating, $250 for orchestra seating, and $100 for mezzanine seating. Ticket holders will receive free entrance to the galleries before the show. Tickets can be purchased at massmoca.org.
Need some Christmas cheer? Berkshire Lodge of Masons is hosting Breakfast with Santa on Sunday, December 9th from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at the Elks Lodge building in Adams, Mass. The cost will be $8 for adults and $5 for children under the age of 12. Breakfast will include pancakes, eggs, potatoes, bacon, sausages, and more. For more information, you can contact the Berkshire Lodge on Facebook. The BRTA's bus strikes have impacted numerous people in the area, including MCLA students. According to BRTA Administrator Robert Malnati, it's the first stoppage of work from drivers in nearly 15 years. BWN's Julie Texera has the latest from students on campus to see just how the strike has altered their commute and what it means for the future.
Since early November, there had been rumblings of a potential BRTA strike due to a contract dispute between the BRTA paratransit drivers and a First Transit subsidiary, Paratransit Management of the Berkshires. Numerous meetings were held in an effort to prevent the strike, but the dispute was not solved during these meetings, and as a result, 15 paratransit drivers went on strike beginning on December 3rd. The strike left several areas of the Berkshires, including Stockbridge, Great Barrington, Sheffield, and Williamstown, without BRTA service, and it left North Adams and Pittsfield with many service disruptions. This strike impacts many people, including students on the MCLA campus, who often use BRTA services to get to and from
I take the
campus.
bus up to go to school
Student
every
Rob
Tuesday
Worry
and
talked
Thursday.
about how the strike impacts his daily life.
I take the bus up to go to school every Tuesday and Thursday. So I would have to get a ride from my parents because I don't have a driver's license and I also live 4 towns away. But it's not just me who gets affected. People who take the paratransit buses will also be majorly affected. I have an aunt who takes those buses because of medical conditions, and she would be losing her transportation entirely. This strike is going to be devastating to Berkshire County if it does happen. I don't feel like MCLA has done much, if anything, to help out. Last year, there was a possibility of a strike. I was constantly knowing, I was receiving tons of emails about, yes, there's maybe a strike, there may be a strike. This time I've only gotten one, and it was at the beginning where there was a possibility of a strike. That was over 2 months ago. I haven't received anything since. In the commuter lounge, because I know a lot of people who take the B bus would go in the commuter lounge. There aren't any signs up that tell students what's going on. If that could happen, maybe students could plan ahead and carpool if they knew what was going on. What MCLA could do is use the vans for students who are affected by a strike. Have them be dropped off at either Adams or the mall, and they can get rides from that point on. MCLA isn't doing enough for the students. I take the bus up to.
Minnow said that while he is currently getting rides to campus, he's concerned with how it may impact other students, especially during finals week. MCLA sent out an email addressing the concerns of students and have encouraged other students to lend a hand in providing rides. If students have any issues regarding transportation, they are asked to contact Ceci at 413-662-5400. And if they have any questions or concerns, they are asked to call the Office of Student Affairs at 413-662-5231.
Venable Theater was in full attendance for FPA's performance of Macbeth this past weekend. BWN's Victoria Weichel attended the show and caught up with the stars to get the rundown on one of Shakespeare's famous tragedies.
Oh, hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Cotton. Oh, hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter.
MCLA Theatre presents Macbeth, written by William Shakespeare. As Macbeth receives prophecies from three witches, he is provoked by his wife to formulate a plan to murder the king and take the throne. He is consumed with greed as he falls into madness. The show is co-directed by Laura Stanley and David Lane. We talked with actors about their role in Macbeth.
Really, for us, we could relate it back to the craze for power that still happens in our society today, which is why this show still bears relevance on what it's like today.
Lady Macbeth is this woman, a wife of Macbeth, who really wants everything in life. She wants power the most, and she will do anything to get that, or rather she'll get everything for her husband to get that.
So Macbeth is just this dark, scary, deep character that just goes through this internal conflict on becoming king and wanting this craze for power.
Well, from a young age, I was always told that I'd be really good in horror movies, and I feel like that this whole show as a whole is the closest I've gotten there, so yeah.
Play this role was a little different. The last Shakespeare role I played was Paris in Romeo and Juliet, and Paris is like the good guy, and so it was kind of nice to flip the table and see what it was like to play the bad guy.
If you still want to see Macbeth, go to the MCLA Ticket Leap for tickets. With Beacon Web News, I'm Victoria Weichel.
On Friday, December 7th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Identity and Gender Equality Resource Center, IGE, will be tabling in the Campus Center Marketplace for Pansexual and Panromantic Pride Day. Be sure to check out the table to learn more about the pansexual and panromantic communities. Get ready to smell the bacon and inhale some pancakes with SAC's Late Night Breakfast. The event starts at 9 p.m. on Tuesday, December 11th, to help students prepare for finals. Co-sponsored by the Student Activities Council, Student Affairs, and Aramark, bring your friends to win cool prizes and enjoy time with friends. The Frio Library will also be offering end-of-the-semester refreshments. Sponsored by Admin and Finance and Human Resources, find different snacks throughout the week to help students in their final crunch. On Thursday, find cupcakes, fruits, and veggies. Friday, whoopie pies and fruit. Saturday, Rice Krispie treats, fruits, and veggies. And Sunday, filled cookies and fruit.
Finals week is fast approaching. For this week's edition of Take Note, Andrew Belargin touches upon the stress that comes with preparing for these exams and how to take it all in stride.
Finals week has a rightful reputation for being one of the hardest, most strenuous of the average college semester. For some students, it's sink or swim. Certain benchmarks exist in various ways. Perhaps a student may be trying to achieve straight A's and will need to perform well enough to do so. Alternatively, a student may be on the verge of failing completely and will need a good grade in order to pass. Fittingly, the week is usually more impactful grade-wise than typical class weeks are. A good idea ahead of time is to try and shed some commitments if possible, to have some time to take a breather here and there, as to not go crazy during a busy week. As for the finals themselves, it may go without saying, but learning what the finals entail, content-wise, is wholly necessary. It makes no sense to focus on the stuff that was covered in September if it's not going to be on the test. Likewise, if giving an oral presentation for a final, fellow peers may get a chuckle out of someone covering the totally wrong topic, but the professor sure won't, neither will a grade the professor administers. Another good idea is to make as good a use of resources as possible. The internet and the library are both usable resources, depending on what the student needs. Visiting professors during their office hours, or even talking with a classmate about something pertaining to the final, are ways of making use of more personal and human resources on campus. Something worth noting is that while study groups seem like a great idea, they can be a waste of time in some cases. Time is valuable, even more so during the finals week, so it's a good idea to make sure beforehand that these are actually going to be study groups and not just someone who wants an unpaid tutor. Finally, when studying, it is important for students to pace themselves. Don't feel the need to go through an entire chapter per minute. Succeeding at finals becomes significantly harder when suffering from a burnout. Usually, students need to be in good enough shape to actually take their finals, and peace of mind is exemplary in this way. Besides, professors usually like their students to be able to actually take their finals. With that, I wish everyone viewing this well on their finals. This will be the last edition of Take Note this semester. This program will, however, be back next semester, and so for that, I encourage everyone to view Beacon Web News next semester for more Take Note.
This past Friday, Book Club hosted its end of the semester extravaganza, packed with games and trivia. BWN's Erica Lucia caught up with the club for a night full of book-filled fun.
MCLA's Book Club hosted their Book Club extravaganza, which gave students the opportunity to learn more about books and engage with one another. The extravaganza included games, snacks, and good music. Heather Brzezinski, Book Club's vice president, lets us in on what Book Club looks like for this upcoming year.
So we meet on Mondays in Bowman 324 at 8 o'clock. We really just get together and we have a good time. We talk about books, but you don't have to read to join book club, which I wish people knew. We do other fun things like movie nights and craft nights and stuff like that. So people of all different levels of loving and hating reading are more than welcome to come.
The games being played throughout the event were book matching games, book Mad Libs, and matching the words from books with the book itself. Students that attended the event explained the different games being played.
So the game that I was playing was match the first line to whatever book it is. It was pretty fun, interesting.
Yeah, we're doing a Mad Libs game where there's like an excerpt from a book and we have to fill in like verbs and adjectives and nouns, and then we're going to read it back and kind of like make up our own story.
Abigail Lazinski was intrigued by the event due to her love for books. She lets us know her favorite books and why.
The Great Gatsby, I love reading that in high school. It's like a classic. But like my favorite book as a child was called Charlie the Caterpillar. That one was really good too.
Heather Brzezinski shares with us her favorite read as well.
My favorite book is The Outsiders. I love the characters. I have my own hardcover copy with a bunch of highlights in it. It's a little bit of a mess, but it's always been my favorite.
With a successful event, Book Club has big plans for next semester. There was pizza and snacks provided for those who attended this event as well. Book Club votes on 2 or 3 books to read, discuss, and create conversation that you wouldn't normally find in a classroom each semester. Don't miss out on their meetings Mondays in Bowman 324 at 8 p.m. and don't forget to watch out for new meeting times next semester. From Beacon Web News, I'm Erica Lucia.
Have helped North Adams Elks Lodge ensure every veteran grave will receive a wreath. After the dedication ceremony, wreaths will be placed on marked graves on December 15th. With the last donations, all 4 cemeteries in North Adams will be covered. The total number of graves receiving a wreath is over 3,000.
The North Adams Public Library will be putting on a winter craft market making event this Saturday, December 8th at 10:30 a.m. The atmosphere will be kid-friendly and fun, and all ages are welcome. There will be multiple craft stations set up, with all the tools and instructions provided to embark on this creative journey. Make sure to come down to connect with fellow members of the community. For additional information on the event, call 413-662-3133, extension 14. It's time to highlight yet another incredible individual for our newest segment of Student Feature. BWN's Andrew Strout sat down with Dirk Correia to see just how involved he is all over campus.
Dirk Correia can be found all around campus, whether he's tutoring students in the library or singing his heart out at an Allegretto show. Correia is an extremely involved student on campus.
I am one of the presidents and one of the a cappella directors for the Allegrettos. I've been in this club since my freshman year here. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world to do. I love this club, I love singing, and I love being able to share that this art with this community.
Being a senior studying English literature with a minor in Spanish, Correia shares his goals for his time after graduation.
I've always really loved languages and how they interact and how they change from place to place, and how the basis of languages, we're all trying to communicate the same kind of things, but we're able to say them in so many different ways.
Correia has also held multiple jobs on campus, being a peer advisor last year, and is now a tutor for students enrolled in elementary Spanish classes.
I tutor the elementary 1 and 2 classes because my real love is for teaching, and I'm able to do that and help people out with something that can be very difficult to learn.
In addition to all of the organizations he's involved in, Correia is an advocate for LGBTQ rights on campus and has been involved with changing policies that affect queer students.
Coming in, I just decided to speak my voice and say that I think that transgender students do need certain protections, like just better accommodations in gender-neutral bathrooms. A different name change policy. I suggested putting pronouns on rosters. It was a pretty simple thing to do. And I remember just sitting down with the VP and giving her a list of things, and I'm very grateful that I was listened to and that all of these changes did go into effect.
So next time you see Dirk around campus, make sure to give him a wave. For Beacon Web News, I'm Andrew Strout.
It's been quite the semester here at BWN, and before we sign off for the holidays, we've got a little something special. Putting together this new cast is no small feat. We've got numerous reporters out in the field and a hard-working crew, but sometimes not everything goes as planned. Here's a look at some of our less finer moments as we work to get this show ready every week.
for this semester. It was an honor to serve as executive producer this semester, but I wouldn't have been able to do it without the entire team. I especially wouldn't have been able to do it without our administrator, Victoria Weichel, who will be graduating this semester. Make sure to stay up to date with all things BWN. You can follow us on our official Facebook page at facebook.com/MCLA BWN. We'll see you back here next year.